Therapist with Your Community Health. I'm responsible for looking after mums after they've had a baby. I'd like to introduce you to Karin. Karin is one of our paediatric physiotherapists. We have a number of physios that help you look after your children if they have any problems. Your maternal child health nurse would let you know, and they would actually refer you on to one of the paediatric services. What we're going to do today together is I'm going to show you some exercises that you can do to try and maintain your strength and get some of those core muscle strength back. But we're going to do it in conjunction with the babies. There's no excuse, no, I haven't got half an hour to exercise during the day. This is all about finding time with your baby, spending some time exercising with your baby, but also doing a few things with the baby that might actually also help their developmental milestones. Okay. The first exercise I'm going to get Karin to do is just to lie on her back with her knees bent. Okay. All I want her to do is I want her to tilt the pelvis backwards. Okay, that's it. So all we're doing is pulling up these muscles here and flattening the back. And relax down again. Okay, and again, pulling up, rolling around, pulling in the stomach muscles here and flattening the back. Here we're just using the muscles, the abdominal muscles, the core muscles that you really got stretched when you were having your baby. If you've had a cesarean, they're also really good exercises to do. Now, what we've got over here is we've got our little baby here. Now, we're just going to talk about how this baby can actually get involved in this exercise. Here you go. All right. So this is a way of trying to encourage the baby to do their tummy time, encouraging the neck and the shoulder movement, the strength with the see how we've got the arms forward? Okay, and just spending a bit of time with mum. This is also another really good position to start doing your pelvic floor. It's what we call gravity assisted. Okay, all right. That's a really nice exercise we do in that position. Now once a baby gets a bit older, maybe 4 months old, what we can actually do is pop the baby up in between the legs, okay? We can do the same exercise again, tilting the pelvis, but you can also now bring up your head and shoulders and you get a little bit of abdominal work, okay? And relax back down again. And you can see at the same time, Karin's bringing the baby up to her, she's giving a little chat, having a little, little giggle, okay? Really helping to get the baby to control the neck movements. Okay, and also just bringing a little bit of abdominal work for the baby as well. Okay. If you saw my talk earlier, I talked about back care. Now, everything we do are always in the forward position. I really like to reverse that. I like all new mums to be in the opposite position every day and spend time on their tummies. Your maternal child health nurse will have also spoken to you about how your baby needs to be on their tummy. Tummy time, tummy time, tummy time. This is a great thing that you can actually do together. Benefits you, benefits the baby. As we can see here, Karin's in a lovely position. She's got the back arched. She's just resting through her elbows. But also, she's talking to the baby at the same time, encouraging the baby, talking, singing, interacting. What the baby loves more than anything is your face. It's a great way to encourage the baby to do that activity while you're on the floor doing it with them. Okay? Another thing that mum can do is just to place the hands down on the floor and just arch backwards. Okay, and back down again, a couple of times. And if we're feeling a bit stronger, what we can actually do is pop ourselves on our elbows again, tuck your toes underneath, and just lift up from here. We've got some, just resting on the knees, got some bottom down a bit, and we've got some really nice work of the tummy and the back muscles through there. Okay? I love to watch mum play with their babies in this position here on all fours. Such a great way to interact with your baby and do some great work for yourself at the same time. The first one I'm going to get Karin to do is like a little push-up. So she's going to go down and she's going to give the baby a kiss, come back up again. You can see so it's really nice work of the upper body. Baby's going to love it, laughing, watching mum's face. That's all they want to do. Okay, lovely. The next one I'm going to get Karin to do is what I call the cat and the cow. Where you actually lower the back down and lift the head up in the air, pop the back down and lift the back up. So pop the head down, lift the back up. We're getting a nice movement here of the lower back. If you've been sitting down for a long time feeding or your back's quite stiff, this is a lovely exercise to do. Another exercise we can do in this position is just to keep the back completely still and pull up the tummy and let it relax. Pull up the tummy and let it relax. And if you're feeling a bit confident, you're feeling a bit stronger, the next one we can do is what we call the Superman. So lifting up your right arm and your left leg at the same time. What that does there, it uses your tummy muscles and your back muscles together, nice and strongly. All the time, playing with the baby, laughing, talking, singing, eye contact.
Hi, baby.
Okay, thank you, Karin. The next exercise I'm going to show you is to really try and open up your upper back. So much of our time we're leaning forward, the body gets really tight in this position. Karin's just going to show us an exercise that we can do simply lying on the floor that helps to open us up. So she's going to lie on her back, she's got the rolled up towel, she's going to place it between her shoulder blades, okay, and she's just going to let herself stretch out. A really way of just opening up your spine, okay. Okay, while she's down on the floor, the next one we're going to get her to do is to actually, I'm going to take away the pillow. Actually, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pillow now for the baby, the little towel. We're going to pop the baby on its side, facing mum. Okay? All right. What mum's going to do here, she's going to engage the core muscle. She's going to pull in through the tummy and she's going to lift up those hips. And relax back down again. I don't encourage this early on. This is normally an exercise we do a little bit further down the track. Okay, probably sort of 3 months onwards. It can be quite difficult. If you're finding it strained and it's hurting your neck and shoulders, please, you're not ready, don't do it. This is just a slightly more advanced exercise, but sometimes what people like to do just while they're, because how much time in our day we spend looking at our babies? Just a nice way of exercising ourselves when we look at our babies, okay? And just flipping yourself onto the back for me, Karin. Okay, another one, your back gets really stiff and sore, is just letting your legs roll from side to side. Again, the baby's lying on their side so they haven't got any pressure on the back of their head. And it's also a good position just to, and if you can imagine here, the baby wants to get to mum, what they might actually do is bring themselves over. It just starts a little bit of that rolling process. Okay? Okay, thank you, Karin. I've popped this exercise into the group that I'm showing you today. It's an exercise for mum and for baby. This is actually a fantastic position for mums to do their pelvic floor exercises. They're nice and relaxed. As you can see, like with all the activities, I've popped a little book underneath her feet. Her back and her hips and her knees are at 90 degrees. She's in a good, comfortable position. Some people talk about doing their pelvic floor in the car at the red lights. But in the car, you're normally in a bucket seat like this, which is not a great way position to be doing in. It's really good to be in a 90-degree angle when you're doing your pelvic floor exercises. While you're doing that, as we can see here, Karin's got Bubs on the pillow. Bubs doing tummy time. That's it, lovely. Stroking the neck, encouraging the neck movement, encouraging the back muscles by stroking the back. And Karin's in a really good position. She's in a nice relaxed position for her shoulders, and everyone's happy. What you don't want to do is put the baby too far down so you're in that position. It's just really encouraging that nice straight back and a good position. The next exercise I'm going to look at is some exercises that we can do in standing, okay? Great again for the baby and for the baby's positioning. You can see how Karin's got the baby lying on their tummy. She's got her arm down in between, just holding onto the bump so the baby's well supported, okay? Hand on the back, just giving some support. Now, how often do we need to settle the babies? And how many mums have I seen settle their babies like this with the shoulders going up and down and trying to rock the baby? This is actually a lovely position. The shoulders can be nice and relaxed. And what Karin can actually do is she can actually use her body weight to settle the baby. She's getting a nice workout in her lower limbs. Okay, she might want to go forward. Okay, but again, the baby's being rocked and encouraging to just be on their tummy at the same time while you're getting a little bit of exercise for the lower legs. Just be conscious with this one. If you feel any pressure on the pelvic floor, if you feel any leaking or discomfort while you're doing that exercise, back off. Don't take the strides so far, keep them low and take it right back down. Okay, don't put any strain. Another way of doing this exercise for the baby is just lying in front. You can see how Karin's supporting the head. And again, just rocking from side to side. So the shoulders are nice and relaxed, but Karin's getting a nice workout of the lower limbs. And I do encourage people to tuck in their tummy while they're doing it. Okay, thank you. I often say to mums, okay, show me how you play on your floor with your baby. And they end up in some weird and wonderful positions and they're on their side or they're twisted. I'm just going to show you here a lovely simple way of exercising with your baby that's also really good for stretching out your lower limbs. Karin's sitting in this position here. She's got her legs out. She can pull up her toes. She gets a lovely stretch down through the back of the leg, through the calf and through the hamstring. At the same time, she's in a good comfortable position and she's well able to support the baby. Okay. In the early days, what we might do is actually maybe just pop the baby over the knee. So in the early stages, they could just play over here. That again, mum can do singing, playing. You might want to put some toys on the floor, just some stimulation and encouragement. But at the same time, mum's back is very well supported while she's playing with Bubs. As the baby gets older, maybe 4 to 5 months, when they're starting to try and get into some sitting, this is a lovely way to practice their sitting balance. So the baby up in between the legs. Okay, baby can just practice sitting balance, toys, and mum's in a lovely position to be able to support them. How many times have I seen mums say, oh, I'm practicing sitting balance with the baby, and they're in some position that's going to cause a lot of strain on their back. This is a lovely way of doing it with very little strain to your back. The exercises that I've shown you here today, there's no specific amount of times you have to do them or for so many minutes a day. It's really just trying to find ways that you can be active with your baby while you're playing every day. Try and find some time in every day to do something, but don't get upset with yourself if you don't feel like you do enough. You might find that one day you're only able to do 5 of an exercise, the next day you might find that you might be able to do 10. The day after you might only be able to do 5 again. That's okay. Just do whatever you feel comfortable with, what your body feels like, feel how your body is working, and just relax and have some fun. Enjoy your time with your baby and enjoy just being active. Good luck.